is Artication.
She was like,
I saw a lot of grass.
we know an armadillo kind of sounds like a cat. And I was like,
It does.
No, she was like,
she was like, okay, plant related.
well, she was like, okay,
Armadillos eat plants.
so do you guys have anything exciting to say from spring break? I was like, yeah, well, armadillos kind of sound like cats.
She was like, meow.
Okay, so anybody have anything? Does
And
anybody?
here we are, our vacation, back from spring break.
Oh my
It's been a
God.
while. We have missed everybody.
I feel like we haven't done this in years.
I know.
And it's only been like a couple of weeks.
It's
And
been
I know on the page we were going to have one last week, but we weren't able
We
to
lied.
schedule that, and spring break kind of messed us up a little bit. But hey, we're back.
But we learned stuff
We
too.
are back.
We're back.
But like, just kind of get things off. So last time we had Cody on the show.
Yeah.
Cody Arnold, and we were doing the Body Material and Space show, and we were there. We weren't live.
No.
We were just
Yeah,
on
we kept,
site.
Bree thought we were
somebody
live,
kept
but-
saying we're live, and it's like,
Bree-
oh, we're actually
say that.
That would've
recording.
been-
No,
that
that
was
was John Ryan.
Oh, John
Speaking of which, random side story, sort of having to deal with the body as a material. So you know how Chris Duran was doing his whole, like, had all the rope hanging
Yeah,
from
he had
this.
the live.
Yeah, so him and I are at
Yeah.
BP5, which we're going to talk about later, and he's like, okay, we got to go get some artwork, let's go get some artwork, and he said, but first, don't be afraid by how much rope I have in my trunk. And he opens this trunk, I was like, oh my God!
Okay, so
Okay.
Oh, yeah, a whole trunk
and
full
I was
of
like, I mean,
a
and then
whole
somebody put on the Boondocks
trunk.
meme, and I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
a whole trunk full of rope. But anyways, so yeah, random side story.
No, anyways, yeah.
Alrighty then. But that was our last show, and it was a very successful show. We had thank you very much to Cody Arnold being on, and
Thank you very
I
much.
take it he had a good time as well.
He sounded like he had a great time. He was
I-
talking to me about it in class.
He's rather cheerful.
I love Cody. Shout out to Cody Arnold yet again.
Another shout out to Cody.
Shout out number
one.
254.
Oh,
And
gosh.
then some things that are happening, well, now-ish, is the BP5 symposium. I'm going to run
Yeah.
this over to Taylor.
Beyond Printmaking 5. So this is the 5th one that we're doing here. And so that's what I've been doing the past, since, yesterday and today. That's what I've been doing all day. Basically, we have different college print programs. So we've got everyone from like a hometown college like UNT. We have colleges from El Paso. We have some of the high school students from like Slayton and other surrounding areas that came up to see what's going on. Basically, we showed a bunch of print artwork. David Lindsay was there, and a couple of other the professors here from the graphic design department were there showing some things, but I didn't really look because it was a lot of words, and I'm a print kid. I'm not much of a word kid. But so we did that. It was really cool. Today we did a steamroller thing, so I don't know if you guys have ever seen the steamroller.
Alpha was talking about it. And I
Does it
decided
look
I
like I ever had a chance to take photos? I'm showing how much ink I have on my
flipping
hands
your
still.
hands
I'm flipping
back
my
and
hands back and forth. No, so as soon as I got there at like 9, they're like, hey, here's a roller, here's an ink, here's some ink. And so, yeah, I was inking up giant woodcuts. We were laying those down, putting Tyvek on top and running a 1.5 ton steamroller over it. It was really cool. We got some of the high school students who cut blocks to go in there and roll up towards the end, and they were like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Sorry.
So,
My pen just exploded.
And something else that just happened on Thursday was we had Christopher Lavery here, and
oh yeah.
he was a visiting artist that came, and he's actually friends with Cody Arnold, and he came and he did a lecture. We got
Yeah.
to hang out with him, and it was really exciting because his work is kind of right up my alley.
Oh yeah, he
Really?
dabbles
So-
with everything.
It was really interesting.
Everything.
Yeah, so he does sound and video kind of editing
it is
stuff,
up your
and he deals with some pretty interesting like
He does.
concepts. So like on his website, he has his like portfolio work. And
It's
stuff.
really cool.
And one of them was, so he was interested in the whole global warming thing, and like, people will
okay,
go
good. I'm glad you're
to
talking about that one.
yeah, people will go to these, will pay a lot of money and watch glaciers just melt and just fall
which was the way he explained
Yeah.
it was even perfect too. He was like, you're paying to go see your own destruction. You're a bunch of idiots. What are you doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his statement was
It was sad, but
Like
really
voting
cool.
for Donald
But it's
Trump.
true. Oh.
and he did this piece where he got all these videos that people have taken that have went, and he did this intense like sound that he orchestrated himself of just like these giant glaciers just falling and just
It's not
dying. They're
Yeah.
dying.
So it's not. So like JR said, he took videos from people who went and videotaped it, put on YouTube. But he does his own sort of sound stuff. He didn't just sit there and have a recording of glaciers falling. I mean, you have to go look at his portfolio. He's got everything from like sheep bells to, I mean,
Yeah.
You can't really describe
You
the
can't.
sound. It's
And
like
then-
it'll get loud, it'll get soft. Like,
yeah, and
it's
so he has
crazy.
sensors connected to his basically the TV showing this image, and based off of light from the TV, it plays different sounds and it changes
Yeah.
the tones of it, and it also sometimes mixes it a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah, on the monitor, it's a certain clip from E.T. And it's when E.T. and
yeah, that was the other
the
one.
boy are dying.
Oh my
Spoiler
god.
So, and
alert
he has-
if you haven't seen E.T.
It was yeah, sorry.
Well, if you haven't seen E.T., what are you doing with your life? But anyways.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's really cool. So he has like this shotgun, and it's pointing at the wall, and from the shotgun, he's making his own bubble
Yeah,
to kind
because
of.
you know the kid's in a bubble.
Yeah, they're like both in this bubble, and the sensors on the screen are, going from different light as the
That
frame
was
changes.
from his graduate work, I think, right? I know that was
I don't
one
want
of
to say yes or no. 'cause
yeah, I know
don't
that was one of the
remember, but-
first times he was playing with sound being attached to the sensors being attached to like a TV screen. So going and seeing that as one of his first parts, and then coming and seeing Iceberg, which the one JR started talking about, again with the light sensor stuff, you can see how much he's learned and progressed and changed. It's really cool.
And
It's
for
just
me,
really cool.
it was like, it was an artist I finally kind of like understand what their art is about. 'Cause,
Yes.
Like, okay, sculpture for
Makes
me
sense.
is really hard to like get. Like you look at something and you're like, okay, what is this about?
Yeah.
And they just assume if you're an art person, you're like, wow.
so much deep meaning.
Yeah,
Everybody's like,
I totally get it.
all
I don't
that
get
in one
half
cup.
of what is
Which
out
is
here.
okay if you
Yeah.
don't understand
No.
something.
Yeah,
I agree
but
completely
his work
with
was like,
you.
okay, I
It
get
clicked.
it. Global warming. There
Yeah.
we go. Clouds.
I also like his because he's a lot kind of like me in the aspect of I really don't give a crap. It's the I'm gonna do this.
It
This
doesn't
is what I
have
want to
be
do.
This like
Yeah.
big elaborate
No, took
meaning.
all the trash from that building they were tearing down and the chairs and stuff and built it
Oh
on
no,
top
that
of
was
everything.
in his grad
Yeah,
grad
that was
studio.
grad. That was grad. He built out of
He
his
took all the trash in the building
Yeah, little
and
tiny
did this
shanty
giant
thing.
mound of it over by his studio when
Yeah.
he was in grad school,
and it reached
and
about
it
the
reached
ceiling.
almost the ceiling. And he called it rescuing polar
It's
bear.
polar bear rescue.
A polar bear rescue.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love this.
because his friend, I guess, they threw a polar bear and it got stuck in the ceiling.
Yeah, a stuffed
he-
polar bear.
he-
I mean, it's like
Oh
this
my
big.
God.
Yeah, and the mound is going so high that it seemed
Yeah,
like
it almost
trying to,
touches.
like, yeah.
the polar bear.
So he calls it.
But he
polar
ended
bear
up like
rescue.
finding some really cool stuff
He did. Yeah, he was
in the
like
building
"I'm
from like
pretty sure-"
almost
Yeah,
1800
he's like,
area.
I'm pretty sure some of this should be collectibles, but I don't
It's
care.
trash
But
now.
that's,
It's
that's
trash
a neat
now.
idea. It's
I
like,
really enjoyed his stuff.
polar bear.
Well, it reminded me kind of like of us because I sit here and look at the dummy every day and I hate my life.
Oh,
but it's just something.
Pee-wee
that's
Herman.
hanging from the ceiling.
We have
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman
No.
stuck in our ceiling.
I don't want to
so.
talk about it. You don't need an art degree to be a puppet master, but so but yeah, no, it just reminds me of something like we would do because half the crap that we do kind of spins from the let's do something like this kind of a and
Just
then
for fun.
yeah,
It's
shiggles.
like, have you seen that thing where somebody, I think at A&M or some university, there was like a cockroach and they made like a shrine dedicated to the cockroach.
What?
And like people would just add and bring gifts and stuff. And it's just a dead cockroach. And
love
somebody
our kids.
gave them a Viking funeral. So they put it on fire and it's just like,
A little
it's
boat
kind of
Going
awesome.
off into the,
But I'm like,
the
yes.
misty water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it was
Our
in a
kids.
corner of like a staircase and like, nobody, it's a cockroach.
That's
And
so
somebody's
good.
just like, R.I.P. Bill the cockroach. And then everybody's like, oh, and so there's like the whole corner was like covered in shrine stuff. So it's like kind of the same thing. Like, it's kind of rescue the polar bear thing, but
Yeah.
it's like
So I just wrote that down so we can go like look up
Yes,
art
this
to
is
talk
great.
about sometime.
Well, speaking of Chris, I got to hang out with him afterwards.
Really?
And
You
it was really
cool.
fun. Yeah, it was really fun. I got his info, and he's very interested on being a video in on the show. So I was really excited about that.
I'll have to buy him like a stuffed animal and
Oh my
send it
God.
to him and
A
make
unicorn.
a new one.
A
Oh,
cloud.
polar bear.
No, not a polar bear. We'll do something different.
Unicorn. What, a
cloud with
Let
arms
me
and
buy
legs.
you a cloud. It's
Arms
okay.
and legs.
He did sculptures of
But,
clouds. If
yeah,
you were
and
there at the
I'm really
lecture-
excited 'cause
I'm
it's
sorry,
really
I was
cool.
working.
But moving on to our actual topic of
Yeah, there
today.
we go. There it is.
So
We have a dog.
our topic for today is marketing yourself as an artist. So how do you do that?
It's very important.
To tell you the
Art
truth,
business.
I don't really know.
I don't either.
You know,
Oh,
But we're going to kind of discuss on what we kind of
Learned.
think and have learned. And
we've been
I got
told.
to talk to Tanya Wells, who we were trying to get on the show today,
Shout
but
out.
isn't able to do it today, unfortunately. But she is wanting to come and do the show.
So
Yeah.
explain a little bit about Tanya Wells.
So Tanya Wells, she is a art broker and works for Winston Art Group now.
Wow.
And she has done so many different things on
Yeah.
the marketing aspect of the art world. So she's done a lot of curating. She used to have like 2 businesses
Yeah,
dealing
her
with
art
Wait,
stuff,
what?
but her firm was in London and in New York, and she's kind of
yeah,
all
so
over.
she just did private collections. You know, she deals with private collections and art dealing and stuff like that. And she had it in New York and in London for a while, and then now she got this really big spot with the Winston Art Group. And we were going to have her on the show today because it was kind of funny on how, I mean, we had this topic and then how she plugs into that just perfectly.
yeah.
But she's going to come in at another time. But like
fine.
rolling on to marketing yourself, I just want to ask, I kind of ask you guys, like, how would you market yourself with what you know now? Like,
I think
what's
that's
something
a
that you-
challenge, like especially for me, because I'm starting to wanting to still sell jewelry just because extra income and paying for stuff. And Rob, who's a teacher here, who's the head jewelry professor, shout out to Rob Glover, he's awesome. He was, kind of saying like it's hard. Like I always have a hard time like pricing things. Like if you put it in a show or something, it's like. It took me, like, I like doing this, so, like, how am I going to put a price tag on what I love to do?
Yeah.
And, like, the undergrad show that most of us, like, put stuff in, you had to put, like, a price, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know how much this is,
See, and and I hate it when they ask that question, so I'm just like, $10, and then somebody comes up and is like, that's not really a lot. You sure that's how much it was? I was like,
Your
okay, I'll
time,
add like
effort,
4 more
materials.
zeros.
Yeah. But then you start thinking about that. You start thinking, okay,
Well, yeah.
so, example, my tiger head, right?
Yeah.
I asked
Holy
Tony,
crap.
So I asked him, and I was like, how much do you think this is? It took me a few weeks to make, and then you have to fire it.
Is a
It's a grad
ceramics grad student.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony. Tony. Anyways, so, but I asked him, and I was like, what do you think? And he's like, well, the amount of hours you put into it, and then you had to fire it to biscuit. Then you had to color it, and then you had to refire it, and like the amount of
Ceramics
payment
are
you have
tricky.
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it costs money to fire up the
And
kilns.
people get
You
so
have to
mad
value
at
your
you
time.
Yeah.
because they're like, $60 for a mug, and I'm like, well, this is porcelain.
Here.
Yeah.
It's like you want to know the exact cost of
You know,
everything
they
that
don't
went
fire-
into
But
that.
I never
Yeah.
would have thought of that if I didn't ask Tony, because I was like, I don't know,
I
what,
swear,
Like,
$100,
value your
and like it
time
was.
and your skill.
That's what
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
throws me off. Is I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I make things, and I kind of consider the price of the materials and so
Yeah.
forth. So if I tried to recreate that piece, factoring in all of that amount of money and kind of pricing the piece based off of that,
Right.
but then everyone's like, you also use time, and time is your most like valuable asset and
It's
stuff. I was like,
something that you can never get back. Money,
Yeah.
you can always get back money, like
Yeah.
some way or somehow, but time you cannot.
so
and
then
so
you
like,
have to factor that in too.
yeah, and so like I'm kind of learning because I'm starting to sell, I wanted to sell jewelry and stuff, like, I've been kind of keeping tabs of, like, all of the materials to package it, the time it takes to make what I'm making, and all the materials you use to make it, and then times the hours you put into it, or the you know, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, with
It's
jewelry,
more
that
sense.
could be in also relation with ceramic stuff. You can have a production line of things, and then you can have your fine art
Right.
kind of stuff too, which are going to be two different price tag kind of things.
It's just
And that's what
Price
I'm
tag
learning.
realm.
Yeah, because
it's hard. So if there are other
It
people
is.
out there who are like, how the heck am I supposed to price this artwork? I got no idea. Well, all of us here have no idea either.
it's
So-
well, my thing is just
We're learning.
research.
Yeah, it's
Research.
And value yourself. and
Yeah,
your
that's
work.
true. You
See, and
can't
I have a
undersell
hard time with
yourself.
that. I'm like, you know.
Don't
There is
be
such a thing
concerned
as
about-
being like undervalued in when you price tag your stuff as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you do it too low for in terms of like capital, if for some, I mean, with how society is today, like they look at the amount, and then in some minds, it's that becomes the importance of that object, no matter what it is. Like some people will pay that extra money
Right.
just because it is extra money. So
Yeah.
they think that it's
Or
worth more.
you
which
think
is
it's
not
super
really the
simple
case.
to do.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like the charms I made for all of us. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's simple design.
Well, it's
It
like
didn't
when
take
we
me
were-
very long, but other people aren't going to put that time and effort
Right.
to make it, so they'll just buy it because it's easy.
Which is funny because we do the exact same thing. Like when we were shopping during spring break, we went and saw all the kitschy
Yeah.
jewelry and stuff, and
Yeah.
we're
We're
like,
like, we can make that.
I can make that.
Yeah,
like
like we
that.
went to the antiques, and I'm like, it's literally a spoon cut in half, and
But
you know, you
either
put some
way-
heat to it, bend it. Oh my god, it's $50. I'm like, what?
But either way,
Costs
I
nothing,
mean,
But like marketing yourself goes beyond the price tags too. It goes
Yeah.
into like exposure. Like you need to expose yourself in certain ways. And just before, when we were setting stuff up, I was talking to John about having what is it? I just went blank.
We don't know.
Brain
that.
fart.
Business cards.
cards.
I'm sorry,
dude, I was just
There was a
thinking
glitch
about
in the
printing
system.
myself business cards like
Yeah.
earlier today, and I was sitting here. I'm like, dude, just
having
whip some out, some
something as
screen
simple
printing.
as that is
Yeah.
just
Perfect.
Yeah,
And that's
'cause
what
I'll-
Rob tells me. He's like, you know, because I got a lot of compliments on my rings and stuff over spring break, and then he's just like, that's we need business cards, and you'd be like, contact me. You
My
know?
cousin, like my third cousin or something, he's a graphic artist, and he did a lot of research kind of on how to market himself in that kind of aspect and getting jobs. So he found a way to make his business card like a pack of gum. And he'd just leave it places so people
Oh,
would pull
that's
gum out
brilliant.
and they'd see his stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So if you can kind of do that creative, be an art kid for a second and think of a really interesting way to have a business card. Like my tattoo artist, he has a clear business card. I'm like, well, that's pretty funky. You know, just something that they,
I
My
thought about
mom
doing
called
mine
it
as a
that.
keychain.
yeah, like a keychain. I
yeah.
could see
Yeah,
like
that has everything etched on it.
if you had done like a piece of metal or something, but that comes up to cost and everything else.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, right now, probably, but.
Yeah.
eh. Well, and I was thinking the handmade paper.
yeah.
Because I learned how to make paper this week.
Yeah, well, your
Rather than-
paper is not as fly as mine.
Oh, I know, because it's my
Dang,
first.
like-
It's my first time.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know,
Had to
expect
flex
to
the
see.
guns.
She pulled
like-
some dang good paper, though. I'm so
thank
proud
you.
of her.
Thank
It's like,
you.
look at what other kids can do with my
papers.
Gumpy.
Making paper.
But not that
Look at
kind
me
of
now.
paper.
But because, like, I mean, with the business
Handmade
cards, having
paper.
something as simple as that is
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
big, because when you go out and you're doing shows and everything, like, people are going to be
Yeah, and then
interested.
just have
Someone's
a-
going to be interested,
You hand out your
Yeah.
little
'cause
information.
if not, then you probably won't be in that show.
Also,
You know, someone's going to
Definitely.
like it.
But
So you're
social
gonna- you
media
need to be able
tags
I was gonna say,
on
that's
your
what I was about
business
to get
card
to.
are
Also-
the most important thing on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And then word of
also-
mouth, too.
yeah, one of the biggest things nowadays is social media. Unfortunately, that
Everything must be on
I-
social media.
talked to again my family friend Rex Care. He's a professor and his own self-sufficient artist. He has students, or he has a student who's just starting college but has an Instagram, and her artwork is getting sold in Tokyo
Right.
and stuff just because
Instagram is
she has an Instagram, and all that stuff reaches out across the world.
And I think it's also connections you make with people.
Well, you have to
know?
go to things. Like
Yeah, you
another
have to
thing
go to
about
things.
as an artist to market yourself, getting shows. Like just just do it, and then go
Do your
to
research
those
on the shows, though. Make sure your
Yeah.
stuff kind of goes with it. That's
Yeah.
important, too.
Oh yeah.
Be out in the public, advertise with your social media, all of the things.
Yeah.
Well, and even if you just go to the gallery to look at stuff, like, you're surrounded by probably other artists that are interested in the same
Check 'em
things
up.
you are. You know, and then you start a conversation, then you end up, oh, you have art, I have art. Let's switch
Chat 'em up.
information, and then it leads one thing to
Yeah.
another.
Go
Yeah.
to events, talk to people,
Yeah.
and then make those connections because
Yeah.
that's going to go into your marketing network.
Especially
For
if
your-
it's, like, free stuff, like social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Go
Yeah.
free, and then
I've had 2
BP5
people
is
talk to
free.
me about LinkedIn, and I have one,
I have one,
but
too.
it's
what's that?
definitely have not been updated in a while,
No.
unfortunately.
It's
but
basically a lot of business-oriented businesses. So, like my
Yeah.
dad, who's a
It's
pharmaceutical.
a social media platform.
Yeah, for
business
businesses.
social
and
media
business-
platform
yeah, that's how
for
they'll
business
find-
I did not know
professionals.
that.
It has like your resume.
Like Facebook's not like
No, it's
Twitter.
not strictly professional.
Mhm.
Like, you're looked at kind of
Mainly
silly
for
if you've got, like, a
businesses.
strange Facebook
Yeah.
photo as your profile picture.
It's
Like,
like
you need to be dressed
resume
up and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But, yeah, I have one, too.
Be on
My
top of
mom
that.
has one.
Mhm.
Well, I'm
Make
gonna
one of
get one
those.
now because I didn't know that was even a
And
thing.
a lot of
Yeah.
times, if you have stuff online already, it like kind of pre-generates stuff for you.
Yeah.
Like if you've had jobs and they do job searches and have you online as a job as a
Yep.
yeah, as a worker or employee,
Employee.
then you start getting these. Like I've found Terry's, and I know he's not on a computer ever. Like Terry has
What
one.
are computers?
I know Rob has one. But,
Yeah.
oh well.
Huh.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, though, this whole thing is, just because you're an art major, don't think you have to go into teaching, or you can
Screw
be
that.
you can be a studio artist after college. You just have to
And
work
you can
at
make
it.
money.
And
And
you don't have to be starving.
Yeah, you
like-
don't have to be like again. Rob taught we had a talk this past week, and like it just kind of opened my mind, like because I always self doubt myself on like if I can do this, is my stuff good enough like to sell? That's just me. But then Rob's like, look, if you have goals, just go for them. You have nothing else to lose, and the same thing. Like
Yeah,
time is
seriously.
the most precious thing, and so like don't get stuck on just being a teacher. Like you can
Right.
do that
Well, I
later
think
if you
that
want
fear
to.
is what keeps a lot of people from becoming
Yeah.
art majors.
Well,
Because people aren't
Your only
aware
limit
of all
is
the
yourself.
options that you can do.
one
Yeah.
of the greatest things that I've learned being here at Tech and having, the great resources and professors that we have is shoot for something stupid. Okay? Yeah.
Shoot
that,
for the
No,
freaking
be out of
stars
the
and
box.
beyond.
When I was talking to Tanya
uh,
yesterday, and she was saying like, yeah, no, she was telling me like shoot for stuff outside the box. Because
Yeah.
when she started out, before she was working in museums and stuff, she was a marketer for a ballet company.
exactly. See,
And
I'm
like that was what got her into, really plugged her into what
Yeah.
she's doing
Yeah.
now.
See, I'm graduating in May, and one of my goals right now is to have a piece of my artwork on the other side of the globe. If I shoot for
That's a good
that,
goal.
where there's so much in between graduating and that, like there's no place, there's no telling where I'd end up.
Well, that was like, okay, again, Rob, but like the conversation we had was really good. He had the same thing. He was an undergrad, and he said that he was kind of the oddball out kind of thing.
Yeah, but now
But
he's
then-
published in like 1,200 books.
Well, then he's just like, he went to, I think, the National Museum of Art or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want a piece here. And, I mean, his
went
undergrad,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now they bought a piece, and he has multiple pieces, and he has pieces around the world.
Oh yeah.
Chicago.
And when you meet Rob, like, we need to get him on the show, by the
We
way.
really do. He's
But-
wonderful.
Rob is awesome.
Yeah, he's so cool. But, I mean, when you meet him, you don't expect him to have all this, all his
He
stuff
doesn't
everywhere.
look
He's
like
very
the
humble.
typical artist.
No,
he's
he
a
just-
real. He's a.
He's like that cool uncle. You're just like, what's
Yeah,
up?
he's cool. He's like you see him as like a dad kind of cool uncle thing.
A
Yes.
leader, like somebody
doesn't
you don't
have,
want
like,
to
He
disappoint.
doesn't look like a
He doesn't have
hipster
like
walking
12
around.
piercings and walks
Yeah.
around with paint on his clothes. He
Yeah.
he has a button up and his shirt's tucked in.
He literally
He
wears
glasses.
khakis and a blue shirt every single
Khakis.
day.
Yeah,
and
he does.
shirt, yeah.
Khakis.
Every
But,
day.
I mean, he had those goals. And look, I mean, he has a ornament, like the White House, the Christmas tree. He has an ornament that's hung every year in the White House.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
come
what the heck is that?
on.
mean,
Presidente
Rob.
sees it.
That's
I
a
mean, if you're not big on your social media and if you're not big on like your business card or making
connections.
connections, just shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
like
gonna
you're
s-
saying about
Well,
like
and my
going on
thing
a
is
show across
try.
the globe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Shoot
that
for something.
sets-
But-
I mean, that sets
Yeah.
connections
Social
and
media.
also set
True.
like viewing of your work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you also with doing that, you got to make sure that you're organized. Also, with social media, especially, is don't have your personal and your work social media together. That's just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's
My
not
Instagram
good.
is completely all my artwork.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
I
I have
tried
my
that.
I have my own. Yeah, you have like 3 Instagrams. I have my personal Instagram, but I'm working on creating like a specific portfolio work based Instagram.
See, I tried that, and then everybody got confused.
Well,
like,
yeah,
each one is
they're
the
named
same
like the
thing.
exact same thing.
They're not named the same.
They
Yes,
are
they
named
are.
crazy artist Kinsey and crazy Kinsey artist or something.
Yeah, the
They're
crazy
named
artist.
The same thing.
They're named like the exact same thing.
Bad
Okay.
at naming things.
One has an
Sorry.
exclamation mark and one doesn't.
Yeah, that's about it.
There's
One is used with a
semicolons
3 and
and
the other one doesn't have
emojis.
a.
I mean, because the reason why I did mine that way is because I'm not very big on the social media because I don't really post anything unless it's really my
I'm
work.
so
Or you
anyway,
glad.
send us
Yeah.
things.
you know,
or
so I'm
you
not
send
really
us.
big.
Yeah.
3 in the morning. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
you
said-
tag
I
me
said
in
Joe-
like 20,000
I am
cute
the video.
videos.
I am the cute animal video master.
But that's
can't
okay. That's
handle
kind of like
it.
a thing.
But
And
Yeah,
I only
I look
get on
forward to
Facebook
it.
just to look at videos
Yeah,
and to
and
look
then
at
you post art
work.
stuff too.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, I'm not
Better
really
that
big on
than.
I know. I got on to Matt about this the other day because Matt is a ceramics grad here, and then
mustache.
yeah, and he does these like ceramic drums and lots of pottery things, and he's like he has a website, but he hasn't updated it in years.
He has a website.
He does,
Okay.
but he doesn't have Instagram. He
He has a Facebook, and his Facebook
does
doesn't
have a
look like it's been updated in about 20 years.
yeah, it hasn't.
And the dude's only like what 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
he,
explains
he like
that.
You're like, that
refuses
does-
to get on Instagram and all this stuff, and I'm like, listen, all of
Linda,
the
listen.
great pottery people right now, like pottery is like a big thing at the moment. I
It's
don't-
becoming a real big
Yeah.
thing with that whole kind of rustic chic stuff, especially.
And I'm like, this is the time that you need to get an Instagram, post your pictures and stuff, like be involved in the social media group. And he's like, well, I'm just not into that.
Get your head out of your butt.
And I'm like,
Hipsters.
if you want your
Well, you
stuff
gotta be on
seen,
top of it.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like, do
Yeah.
you want to
like, you gotta
be
be proactive in the times now.
do you want to be an artist or do you want to be a lazy butthead who
Well,
lives
be nice about it.
Okay, do you want to be an artist or do you want to be lazy and live in an apartment for the rest of your life and keep getting
And be
degrees?
the starving artist.
and be the
you know?
starving artist, or
Yeah.
do you want to get out
Which,
there?
if
You wanna
that's what
be
you wanna
get
do,
your
you can do
stuff
that.
places.
I mean, if that's your thing,
Yeah, if you want to know that,
I'm not
sure.
making you spaghetti for the rest of your life, though.
he makes good pasta though.
He does. I will. Yep.
Either way,
He got
But-
that going.
Yeah, it's
Paulus
just
does.
important to definitely get yourself out there
social media.
and follow the trends. Trends are
Yeah,
cool.
but-
People are like, if you're an artist, you're not supposed to follow trends.
Whatever.
And
If you want to
you're
make
supposed
money,
do
you follow
something
trends.
different. But that's what's selling. And sometimes
Well, it's not really.
you gotta do.
It's not really the trends. It's just like keeping up with
What's
what's
popular.
Well,
the society.
It is trends.
from the very
With technology
Okay.
the way it's going.
here's
it's
my
just-
opinion on it. From the very, very beginning, art has been a commentary on the previous revolution. Has it not? Always, right? Every single time. So to do that,
Modernism, postmodernism.
yeah, but
modernism.
Yeah.
to do that,
Yeah.
you have to have you have to understand that previous revolution. You have to understand your current revolution as well if you want to be successful.
Constructivism, man. Like,
Oh my God, get off of it. But but yeah, so
Well, and it's also a thing to where it's like you got to look at.
well, I
this
mean,
is
I
what
just
I've
mean
been
like
kind of
take that
looking
into
at.
consideration. You
Take into consideration
don't be a
what's
stupid
popular,
hipster. Yeah.
but also don't be like everybody else. Like, okay, back to the jewelry thing. I've been
Yeah.
researching.
Think outside
Like
the box, but
everybody's into the stamping deal, but you gotta. But I'm like, okay,
gotta
I can
make
do
it
that,
your
but
own.
Make
I'm
it
gonna do it
yours, yeah.
different. I want to separate myself from the crowd because if you're just gonna blend in, then
That's
what's the point?
The biggest thing is you have to be different, and that sucks. And it's hard to kind of comprehend that because you're an art kid. You're like, well, I'm already different. Yeah, but you got to be different from the rest of us different kids.
Because that's the hard thing about art in general. It's like you
gotta
have a
be
good
different from
idea.
the rest of us different kids.
Yeah,
Hey,
but it's like, okay, you
Put
have an
that on a
idea. This
t-shirt.
is genius. Well, somebody's probably already had that idea. Now you can have the same idea, but do it in your way to where it's going to be
It's
different.
a
like
little bit.
here.
Yeah, twist it with your own.
It's like
twist
taking
on your tea.
Your own twist.
doing that whole stuff with. I know Alberto's done stuff with McDonald's logos and
yeah.
things and twisting it on its head, kind of. Or there's an artist out there who does like really uncomfortable, creepy spoofs on the Ronald
Well,
McDonald.
it's like Banksy's stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. They're using that iconic logo and that original concept and spinning it, using it for them, assigning all of that meaning with it, but making it their own.
Yeah, and I think that's the important thing. Like, don't get discouraged. Like that, I think that's like a challenge for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
okay, everybody's doing this. What can I do different to have it express what I want it to express and to express myself in that piece of artwork?
Yeah.
Whether it's whatever. And yeah, and then once you figure that out,
You're good.
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, you also need to be proactive. I mean, not only getting into
Oh,
shows.
God, yes.
You need to, go to lectures, go to talks,
Definitely.
visit symposiums.
Definitely.
Be
yeah.
educated with what's going on around
Exactly.
you. Basically.
Yeah.
I
so-
keep hearing from people, professors, current artists, you gotta know what's going on around you.
Yeah.
You have to see
You
what's going
can't
on. You
live-
can't just live in a little corner of your life.
Because
Yeah.
it goes back to the thing, like, you might be like, oh, in this little corner,
Yeah.
this is a great idea. Well, if you don't know what's going on around you,
Yeah.
your stuff's going to be
I mean,
insignificant.
yeah, exactly.
left
I
behind
love
there.
sitting
Yeah.
in the corner eating Cheetos all day and watching Netflix, but if I want to make artwork that speaks to other people, I gotta know what everyone right now is thinking.
Yeah. And my thing is like, always ask somebody's opinion because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
another point of view. And then you're seeing, like, okay, because that's what I always do. I'm like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And, like, I thought it was going to look, I thought they were going to perceive it this way, but then they perceive it a whole different way.
It's
And
like
I'm
our
like,
print class critiques.
Yeah, in in prints, like our critiques, I'm like, okay,
Goes-
this is what I'm doing, but we can't talk about our artwork.
Well, that's why I like
everybody
how
else
those
has
are
to,
set up.
Yeah, everybody else
See
has
what
to
they think first
see,
without
and I'm
your
just like,
input.
y'all kind of had it, but then this is
Yeah.
what I meant it to happen, but I could see where
But
y'all
yeah.
got that from.
So there's no telling. That's part of, I think, at least in my kind of opinion with marketing, is if you're marketing, that means you're networking. If you're networking, you're surrounding yourself with artists. You're surrounding yourself with gallery owners and stuff.
You need to
Doing
Constantly
immerse
getting
yourself.
feedback.
Yes, doing that, you've got this great group, this great network, not only that will, maybe shoot your information out to somebody like, oh, this is a cool show. I know somebody who might have a great piece for that. Or help you, maybe for galleries, host your own artwork and stuff. But you've also got this great network of people who know what you're trying to do, know the art that's going on around you, know different areas of mediums and art, and they can always give you great feedback. Now, it may be an intense feedback, and you may take it personally, which you shouldn't, but that's the best kind of feedback you can ever get.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism.
Constructive,
is,
yeah.
I mean, you need to be able to handle it. I mean, some people.
And it's hard when
it's
you're
hard
first
to
starting
sometimes.
out because
Yeah.
you're like, I put in my heart and soul into this
you
piece, and
take
then
it
somebody is
personally.
just like is
See,
doing constructive things that you
seriously.
feel like it's tearing you down. But I'm like,
Yeah.
they're
No.
perceiving it this way,
Exactly, just roll
and
with
take it. Like, because I think it depends on people's personality. Like my personality,
You and I really don't give a crap.
Well, I mean, you just tear it apart, but I want that because I'm like, that's all that's wrong, and I need to fix and make
Yeah,
better.
and plus-
but other people are just like, I give up. That's how my
Yeah.
sister is. I give up. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like,
No.
no, that motivates me to be better
Exactly.
at what I just did.
To this day in our school, we still have professors telling students our age, you need to separate yourself from your artwork. You have to understand you can't do that. It may be the best piece to you in the world, but bet you $5, 3 years from now, you're going to have like a way better piece. It'd be worth twice as much. I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, watching people cry and get torn up in tears. I'm sitting here, it's like, wow, I know you're emotional and you're very in touch with your feelings being an art kid, but you gotta understand that this is the greatest time to hear all of that. Whether you feel like it hurts or not, you have to understand this is the greatest moment to
I
have
mean,
that.
we're lucky as students because
Oh,
when you
yeah.
get,
Oh, yeah.
when you get out, it's a little bit harder to get those
Alone.
critiques.
You
You
get the
know?
trolls.
You're not
and they're just
constantly
evil.
surrounded by other art
No,
minds.
that's why I'm going to be calling you guys like every other week. Hey, does this?
Oh my god, yo.
Well, if we don't live together, yeah.
What?
But no. So important things to remember is marketing. Marketing is so important in regards to that. Marketing and networking.
Yeah, and
Talk.
have confidence in your work, and don't
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
big
I
thing.
mean,
I still deal with that.
I struggle with that because
I've been doing this my entire life, and I still have this thing. And Terry's like, "What are you doing, dude? Do you see how well you sculpted that human figure?
Yeah.
Look at that! It's glorious! Good God! Good God! It's art!" But
See, Rob does the same thing. He's like, "You have all this talent. Why are you?" I'm like, "I
you
don't
are your
know.
own
I don't
worst
think
enemy.
I'm."
You are your own worst
And
enemy.
it's so true. I've
Your
always like
own
through
hardest
athletics
critic.
that I've done and
Yeah.
through art, I'm
Well,
always like beating myself up, and everybody's like, "You're
You'll
freaking
get in the
awesome.
way
Just
of
be
your.
you."
You get in the way of your art, excluding the fact that you'll get attached to it. You get in the way of your own art, which stops you from chasing after things and going your full potential. And with that in mind, it's the exact same thing with like networking. If you're afraid to go talk to somebody, then you have no idea who they could. That person could be related to Donald Trump's youngest, second mother's cousin, uncle, or whatever, who happens to be
Mistress.
like who happens to be like the great descendant of Pablo Picasso and is actually an artist and is making buku tons of money, but you don't know that until you talk to them. Bukus, but yeah.
And
So-
have a business card behind them.
And have a business card.
Networking, be organized, be proactive, and that's so hard to do.
Well, and I
especially
think the
being-
whole thing about knowing what's around you, it's also great inspiration you can have.
Oh, definitely. I
I've
actually-
done that.
I get stuff done if I'm
Pinterest is
inspired.
amazing.
Pinterest, I look on Pinterest because it does people like other artists network and they put their stuff on Pinterest and Facebook and it all goes to Pinterest and I just
Even
look and I'm
Our
and
teachers
Google,
have stuff on Pinterest too.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Our
You know how
teachers
many
have
times
it. I'm
find
like,
Rob?
Don't
I
limit
know who
yourself
that is.
to Pinterest and Instagram.
God, please
Go to
don't.
shows.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yes,
but,
but,
it's
I mean,
also good.
that's an
And
example of like what you can look at to get
There's-
inspiration from and surround
There's
yourself with what's going
no
on.
reason that you should feel like, oh, I can't go to this show in New York. This is awful. I don't have the money for that. Dude, look around the corner. Look right around the corner. I bet you there's something in your neighborhood going on.
First Friday art
First
trail.
Friday is a great example.
Youth
Okay.
on your-
Yeah.
Yep.
We're in Lubbock, Texas, all right? Everybody knows this. We're in Lubbock. Everyone thinks, oh, college town, nobody's up there, la-di-da-di-da. Well, hell, we have an art school. Hell, we have a really cool art scene here now. It's getting bigger. I mean, that's why we're here
We
doing
have
a
an awesome
podcast.
facility.
We have amazing facilities.
Yeah,
Just
The whole reason we is here.
yeah, look around you, and half the time, if nobody knows about it, it's a great show because it's free.
Yep.
And that's still experience. That's still people you're talking to, and that could be like the people you're talking to could be like local gallery owners, local artists, and they might know somebody.
What scares
who
First
might
Friday
know
is the
somebody
perfect
else.
place to market.
What scares me though is
Yeah.
like some of the art classes that I have, and some of the teachers are like, "Don't you go to First Friday?" And they go, "No," and I'm like, "What are you doing?" You
I
know,
don't
like,
understand how you can't not like how you don't go to First Friday if you're an art kid.
yeah, but it's
I have like a 3 or 4 year gap of where I haven't gone to First Friday
Imagine.
until like this year.
Tisk tisk.
Yeah,
You're
but
welcome.
yeah, thanks guys. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in regards to like my art world, like
Yeah.
my art life, and that whole conflict with thinking I'm not good enough and stuff. So now that I'm,
I'm glad you're going with us now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have no chance to
It's
not
fun.
go.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna roll into Inside Scoop.
Oh,
Oh, you say screw.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I feel like we.
wait.
You say screw.
Okay, hold on. But let me just make sure. It was like, okay, so organized, we're going to just recap so we got everything off of
Recap
our
this.
head. Okay, be organized.
Me.
Be proactive. Social media is your friend, especially free social media, but don't be a stupid person. Don't post photos of you getting drunk with your best friends on your social media, okay? Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that in the business world. Nobody likes that in the art world.
We're
I get
past
it.
that.
You're creative. Okay.
Yeah, we're adults.
Show your art. Show your art. And it doesn't matter where. It could be in this small town, Hickville in Mississippi or something. I don't know. Do they have Hicks in Mississippi? But either way,
Sure, there's a couple.
like it could be something there. You're showing your artwork. That goes on your resume. Your resume is important. Everyone sees your resume. They can go back. They can find that. That's networking again.
Make your work accessible.
Make your work accessible.
And to be
That's a great
seen.
point. Yeah. Also, again, with pricing your artwork, you have to consider and understand that the value of your time is just as important as an asset in that cost factor than the materials. So if you're working at Target for 20 hours and you want to get paid minimum wage, right? Okay. So how much do you want to get paid at Target, right? 5 to 10, depending on what kind of slave job you're doing. I mean, you have to incorporate that into your hours as an artist as well.
Yep.
yeah, again, just cost of materials and your time. Be organized. You got to get out there with social media, marketing, networking, talk to people. It's okay. Everybody is shy. Everybody has no idea what to say. But the more you do it, the better at it you get.
Get yourself a logo.
Get yourself a logo. I don't
And a
have
business
logo.
card.
Business
I'm all about that
business
business card because I
card.
need
And a
one.
hashtag.
I need one too.
Oh, this is what we need to do. We need to go get business cards together. We'll have
And
some
spell
examples.
check them.
Spell check them.
I did one
Kenzie, spell
this
check
summer.
your
I had
business cards.
No, it's not.
Either way.
I put contact and I left out a letter and I passed them out to a lot of people.
I was like, Kenzie, you
And I was
spell
like,
check all this?
no. It was
Well,
one of
anyways.
those on your knees. No.
Either way. So yeah, spell check's important too, but don't
Yes, it
rely
is.
on it. So yeah, that's inside scoop now. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
I just
okay.
wanted to make
That was a
sure
good
it's like let's
topic.
hear it.
No, that was good. That was good.
Good topic,
Um,
guys.
I feel like we should probably have some pretty good inside scoops since we haven't been here in like
Oh, I know.
it's been like
I
2
really don't
weeks.
have much.
Art-
We had spring break.
Art related stuff.
Art related.
Oh,
Over spring
related.
break?
Although it was pretty artful of us when we were playing darts and singing on the dock and dancing around like
Performance
hobos. So.
Was I dancing like a hobo? I thought I was dancing pretty good.
You were doing a rain dance.
Some of us got to spend spring break together.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad.
Sorry,
JR.
babe.
The squad went to the lake house.
Half of us.
Minus John Ryan.
Minus John
Either
Ryan.
way.
I'm sorry.
So
And John.
why don't you start, JR?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
John Ryan,
yeah,
you
John
start
Ryan,
this
you always
time.
get us to start.
Not
Why don't
you.
you start?
You.
Whoa.
It's always me.
Oh, dang.
The woman.
I was gonna say.
Damn,
Kenzie,
Daniel.
let's go.
Well, looks like he gets it. Let's go, John
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah, okay,
let's
okay.
All right,
go,
now
John
taking the
Ryan.
inside scoop and throwing it at John Ryan. What have you been up to?
Oh, hey, this is John Ryan here. Going first.
Hootie hoo.
Who freaking who?
So, well, my inside scoop, I didn't do a whole lot over spring break. I mean, I did take my son camping for the first time. That was very fun.
That's so
I got
cute.
I got some inspiration while I was out there. I went to Lake
You also
Allen
got
Henry.
sunburned as hell
And sick.
and sick.
Other than that, it was great.
Yeah, look at that.
Everyone knows how my spring break went because it came back with me.
Yeah.
But more so with, I'm going to be in the sculpture student warehouse show over for First
yeah,
Friday. That's
we need
gonna
to
be
mention
April
that.
That's
7th.
coming up.
And the way it's going to be set up, or I shouldn't say everyone, most of everyone participating is doing an installation based kind of show.
Can I ask you a question?
That has to, yes.
Sorry. Are you going to
Show in
show...
the back, go ahead.
Hey, hi, I'm Taylor, and I'm with the Emo Vegetable News Report. So, are you going to be showing Jensen's and Taylor's little clothing stuff?
No, I'm actually saving that for a bigger,
Okay,
bigger
cool.
piece.
Because I love
It's kind of
that.
cool. I'm glad
It's a
you mentioned that
surprise.
because I'm actually going to start getting clothes from people around Lubbock.
I was about to say,
Other
do you need
kids
my
that don't know.
clothes?
And I'm going to fill almost half of
So
the
cute.
warehouse.
Bree's crying.
So
Oh, this is cute.
that's going to be a later endeavor, like a
Good.
later
Well, when
endeavor.
you do that,
But-
get their underwear and give it to me.
It's
Taylor's
underwear.
doing
No, like adults. Like,
that's all going to be kid stuff.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's when my project. Well, that's like okay. All right,
you
that's
didn't
when my
listen a
project.
couple
gets-
weeks
Clarify
ago,
this.
Well,
that's when my
not
We'll
project.
let
good.
gets
Taylor.
weird.
We'll let Taylor talk about that when we get to Taylor's turn.
No
'cause it's my
thanks.
turn.
Yeah, this is your
Yeah.
turn.
It's
All right,
John
sorry.
Ryan. Is it?
Turn.
Yes.
Go.
Keep going.
But being in that show, I'm doing. Let me just kind of tell you what I'm making. I luckily have some good pals and good friends,
You do.
crew members and whatnot, and I'm gonna be talking about in this piece on how I have to lip read. Well, that's pretty much how
Yeah.
I communicate. I have to lip read.
Yeah. Which
I'm
was
losing my
impressive.
hearing.
Which was impressive.
I had to
Yeah.
teach myself going through high school, and I got pretty good at it. And then I would say a year and a half ago, I got hearing aids, and the sound is very overwhelming. So I'm going
It's
to be
like you
talking
never
about
wear
that.
them.
I never wear them because they give. Oh,
I
when
forget that sometimes. I'm like, John Ryan. And he's just, I'm like, John Ryan. No response. And I'm like, waving my hands. Hey. He's like, what? I'm like, I forgot.
I didn't even
can't-
know you
you're-
did that.
Exactly. It was the other day.
Inside
actually.
Scoop with John Ryan. Let John Ryan
Sorry.
talk about his artwork.
But what I'm doing is I'm making these giant projector like projector screens, and on one screen I'm gonna have pretty much just footage of lips and editing certain words out, where I'm forcing people to lip read, and it's gonna get harder and harder as each reel goes by.
Yeah.
And then on the second screen, I'm gonna put every single frame or footage in different small little frames on the same screen with all the audio happening at one time.
Because that's how you feel.
Because that's how I perceive it all.
Daily to
That's
I
cool.
like that. Is that why you wanted to record our face?
Is this why you took
I'm
pictures
recording.
of
He's
our
I'm
lips?
recording.
He's borrowing our
Lend
lips.
me your lips.
Me on lips.
I need
Let me use
lips.
chapstick.
Okay.
Bring your chapstick.
Like this.
Look up with your lips.
That is
like this.
That is really cool.
So, and that's my inside scoop. That's what I've been working on.
I'm
actually
so
really
excited.
excited about it.
I'm excited about it.
And I mean, also the last work that I did for the body material and space show with Cody,
Yeah.
I got into another show
With
for
that?
research.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, it's been,
Clap, clap, clap,
yeah,
clap,
clap, clap, clap.
Fucking clap.
I know, but
that's
JR,
what I said.
this is clapping
This
in
is
sign
clapping.
So
language.
when you wave your hands over my
clap,
ears,
clap,
clap, clap.
is
Wave like
the
your hands
sign
like you just
for
Anyways.
clapping.
So you got that into another
I
show?
got into another
What show? What is
What
this?
is it? Congratulations.
And what's awful is I don't know the actual name of the show.
Oh my. Something to do with slapping people in the face, right?
We just started talking about marketing. I don't even know the show I'm in.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know about it until Scotty Hensler, who is my boss over at the Landmark Arts Gallery. And
Shout out to
he
Scotty.
told me about it. He just says like, "Hey, if you want to bring your work in for this show, it
Scotty
has
does
to do with research, and you can put it on
That's so
your
fun.
resume and whatnot." I was like,
Thanks,
"Yeah,
Scotty.
thanks, Scotty, for sure." And then Cody was talking to me about it too, and I was like, "Yes, I'm already on it." So I'm bringing that into him
That
on
being
Monday.
proactive.
To be.
You
Remember
gotta-
us when
that's
you're
so
all
awesome.
cool and famous? And be
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Send me a postcard.
Well, we're
You
still going to
used
be
our
doing the
lips that
show,
one time,
right?
remember?
Yeah.
We're still going to be doing the show.
Our lips were in that one thing. Just,
We got to find a way to get. We're going to find a way to get paid to do the show.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
besides the
that'd be
point. I don't really care.
Um,
Yeah, I would.
But if we did, anyway, moving along, we're going to
Yeah.
go to Inside Scoop with Bree.
Oh,
Throwing it that way. Okay, this is Inside Scoop with Bree Dempsey. How have you been doing this week?
Hi. This week's been a blur, man.
It's already been a week.
I know, again,
No.
when I walked in, what year is
What
it?
day is it again?
What are we
Um,
doing?
Well,
What did you do during spring break, Bree?
No, it has to be art related.
yeah, that's not really art
You
related.
said camping.
Yeah,
He got inspiration from camping. I didn't get inspiration from.
No, you didn't.
you always gather inspiration from us.
Yeah, we were
that's
there.
true.
We went antiquing.
We did. I mean, I guess I can talk about our next project for ceramics.
Yeah.
We're making Greek amphoras. So
Cool.
it's like a vase, Greek vase.
Of all.
And it has a vase.
Like they would carry on their heads, and they're like, no, you know.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah, because that's
that.
exactly how
No, no,
everything
no.
works. Because Hollywood depicts it. It must be real.
That's-
Physics.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know. Banana.
Get out of here. All right.
No,
carry
but it
on.
has to be like taller than 2 feet, and it's currently killing me right now.
I'm
Like,
taller than 2 feet.
Oh, that's so good!
I can help.
So like on Hercules when.
Yeah, it's like those. So basically
When he
Hercules.
breaks all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I'm working on,
Cool.
and we have to like build it in pieces because I can't
Like
throw
with
pottery that
the Groot thing.
tall. Yeah. So I've been working on that all day. Just I'd thrown the pieces a while ago, and now I'm trying to put them together, and they're not the same size, and they're falling, and
I have faith in you.
it's
Are
being
y'all
all.
wood firing, or what are y'all doing?
It's whatever you want to fire it with.
Yeah.
Really, any of them, but it had to be like a stoneware clay because the porcelain can't handle
Yeah,
the tallness of it.
that makes sense.
What
But-
does that mean?
It's killing me. What?
What does
Stoneware?
that mean?
Like, why
um,
can't it handle?
So,
the-
why can't it
Like
handle it? Or-
porcelain is kind
I
of
wanted
like
more.
butter, and so it's very fragile. And why is that funny?
No, he was.
oh,
Keep going.
I'm listening.
and then stoneware has more sand in it, so it's stronger basically, and it can handle taller things.
In scientific
Scientifically speaking.
Okay.
Porcelain is
Porcelain.
pure clay, comes straight from the source.
And it's glass.
And
when
it's glass.
When it's fired.
Yeah, it's pretty. But low
Stoneware.
fire clay, which is going to be what they're using.
Well, it's still
Which is
high
called what?
fire. It's
Still-
still
it's a
high fire
stone. Okay, so-
stoneware.
Yeah.
Well, so low fire clay is another type of clay, and that's on a secondary source. It's mixed with other things and
Like
makes
terracotta?
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
What was it called? Stoneware?
Stoneware.
I'm
Stoneware.
using like it's a red stoneware.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's almost like a purple color. It's fun. I like it because it kind of feels like porcelain. It's soft, but it's rough like the stoneware, and it's holding. I'm just having a really hard time putting together my pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Groot. Come on.
That was an accident. That piece fell over and became Baby Groot. So,
Happy accident.
but yeah, I'm also making a cow.
Oh, I saw
Cow
it.
head.
Moo-moo.
Yeah,
You gonna hang it up in our house?
I am.
Like-
It
like
is a
bust?
wall piece.
Like a bust?
It's like a.
It's like a.
It's like a.
It's a bust.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And it's
Like my tiger head, but a cow head.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
yeah,
But
but,
not that
it'll hang on the
aggressive.
wall.
It counts as one of your cows.
So my cows.
Yeah.
Oh, to put in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We'll see. Okay, maybe
I'll
not.
keep
But-
the cow. I'll
No,
put
we-
it next to my tiger head. Then
No,
we're
no,
friends.
no. You can hang it up. It won't count.
Okay. But yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm doing. Just
that's
those
cool.
projects.
Righto,
They're
righto.
killing me. I'm done. Y'all pray for
Okay.
me.
What's going on with you, Kenzie?
Oh, now it's my turn. This
Yeah.
is weird.
Oh.
Ah! Taylor pushing me across.
Sorry.
Well, yeah. So went to Lake House, and I actually got
Art
some.
related.
Well, can you?
Okay, sorry.
So we went to some antique shops, and like we were saying earlier, how we were looking at, there was jewelry there.
Yeah,
and
this
I'm
is a spoon cut in half.
well at all of the little shops we went to. I went shoom to the jewelry. Just
It
to
was
be-
great.
I know they've noticed
She
it,
was
but
like a dog on a bone,
anywhere
man.
I go, I always look to the jewelry because I want to see how they make it, and like I can, and most of the time it's like I can do
Plastic.
this, and it's plastic, and I'm like I can do this,
And they're pricing it like way high because it's in a boutique.
Yeah.
And so, but I got
So
some
I
really
ate
good
something.
inspirations. Like, okay, I see how this is this like pricing wise. Like I was like, okay, I saw how it was priced here, and so my stuff's handmade, so it'd be okay. So it kind of gave me an idea.
But they shouldn't be pricing it at that price.
No.
I think you could be pricing it at that price and higher.
yeah.
But
Well, it gave me a little insight of
Yeah.
what
okay.
you know.
Yeah.
What's
Kind of
out
the thing,
there.
like what's out there, what people are wanting, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So then, well, this past week, I will say this: I had like a mini panic attack this week because
Pulling your
I was
stuff out?
well, no,
Oh.
that was a no.
Oh,
But like
sorry.
I was just thinking about future things, and I had that talk
Don't
with Rob.
think about the future. That's dangerous.
I know, but it's important to think about it because then I like to have a plan and then just go with the flow.
The
to that
past
plan.
is history. The future's a mystery. Right now is a gift. That's why it's
Yes.
called the present.
Oh.
But anyway, so I had that
That's a good
discussion
way
with
to
Rob,
answer.
like I've been talking about, and it kind of made me realize because I've always been doubting myself, like to do stuff, and so it's kind of inspired me to like just go for whatever goals I want. And me and my sister have this goal to where it's like she graduated from Escoffier Culinary School, which is
Get it, Jade.
yeah, she went to that school and she's a baker.
She fed me. I'm forever
She fed us
grateful.
over spring break,
Yeah,
and it
she
was
was
amazing.
here, and me and her, our plan is to. She wants to own her own bakery, but then we want to collab and have like an art gallery bakery, and then
Bree wants to do
And
it.
my
yeah,
coffee shop
Bree
is
wants
thrown
to
in there.
come in and do barista things. So it's like coffee cake
I'll watch.
gallery things, so people can sit in and eat cake and drink
I'll sit
coffee
across
and
the street and
look
watch.
at art and stuff.
We'll drag you in.
Then, but then I can also sell art there and jewelry and stuff because I just don't do jewelry, you know. And so it's kind of like, okay, that's my goal. And so it kind of just motivated me to come up with a new piece to do for the semester.
Girl, get it.
And so you can sculpt kind of like with clay, but with wax, and you can cast it and stuff.
So fun.
And so I have kind of experimented with a tiger head. I did another little miniature tiger head sculpture in wax, and I was kind of, I don't know what to do with it. And then that whole panic attack and then motivation thing happened for me this week. And so like I just came up with this idea of a trophy. I'm going to call it a trophy necklace or something with trophies.
Stuff you're doing. Oh, that's so cool.
And so what it is I was trying to figure out how to put the tiger head on a necklace, and I don't want it to be moving around. I want it to kind of stay out there, look at it. And I was like, okay, I'll just put like something metal. Well, it kind of reminded me when people go hunting and they shoot animals in their wall,
Like
kind of thing.
Like
What is that
cow
called?
head.
Taxidermy plastic.
Yeah.
Like a
So it's So I was like, okay,
Mounted.
maybe
mounted heads. This is the word.
mounted heads. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do a little feminist thing, and I know how some men take women as trophies. So
We're not looking at you, babe.
I'm not looking at you, John Ryan. I know you don't do
We're
that.
definitely looking at you.
But some men see women as trophies, to win, or and so I want to do a narrative on like having different animals, so like a tiger, a bear, a wolf, a bunny, a deer, innocent and aggressive animals that men see like that's a prize, and I want to put it on my wall to display to everybody. But also, so like have a tiger head, and then right next to it, that's why I need, if anybody has Barbie's heads, like Polly Pocket Barbie heads that they don't want, I want them so I can cast them. But to put that next to the animal, set up the same way, but have the same facial expression to kind of say like animals are put on display like trophies, but then also put women on display like trophies. And so it's like
snap.
Yeah, so it's like animal heads and woman heads, like, or past women they've had. Where
Side
it's
note.
like, oh, I've had this girl, this girl, this girl, kind of
Side
thing.
note, if
Like
you
the
get
list.
Barbies and I didn't get underwear, I'm gonna be so upset.
Well, I mean, I just need one to really, I just
Yeah.
need
Just
one.
one.
I go
We went to
home
Dollar
and-
General, and I was like,
one
no.
at Dollar General, but it was $3, and that was too
What?
much.
For a- Yeah, I know.
Dollar
I need to go to Dollar Tree
just says
because
Dollar
I need plastic so it can melt out of the cast. But that's my kind of idea of like a whole necklace with like, you have aggressive animals, and then have the woman have an aggressive face and like have little cat ears or whatever. Then you have a deer with a woman with deer antlers and an innocent face. So it's like
So Brie,
not all women are aggressive,
And the
not
deer.
all women are innocent, kind of thing. But men take them as trophies, kind of thing.
I
So
love you.
that's what I.
This is gonna be so cool.
But the thing is, it's like it just came out of my butt, and I was like,
I love this analogy.
well, because I was like, so Nancy, who met with me, no, you don't understand. So like, I had my whole little breakdown. It's a baby.
like the cat who was crawling across the bathroom. Anyways,
Out of my
No, because I
butt.
had my breakdown. Well, not breakdown, but like anxiety attack.
I love this.
Bree, I have bad anxiety attacks sometimes. I'm just like, I was
That's why
yelling
you
at the
don't think
sky.
about these things.
And so, but the day after, like, I was meeting with Nancy, who's another jewelry teacher, and then it just came out of my mouth, and I was like, this is a great idea.
did you
But I
realize
just
you
pulled it out of my ass. Like, it was great.
I love that analogy.
But I'm like, this is what I need. And so it gave me that motivation. Like, I'm super excited. And then, like, now I'm, like, trying to work on a jewelry line to sell.
And now you have work.
I mean, I didn't totally put it on my butt, but then it just developed as I talked to her. And I was like, oh
the
my
idea
God.
is not
You suck. Get out.
Don't hit me.
I'm not going to hit
Lord. But that's
Well.
really
This time.
cool.
That was great.
you. I know. But I was just so excited. So now, like, I'm like,
excited.
I feel better about my life now, even though I'm not going to graduate ever. It's fine. But
Way
anyways.
to be positive, Kenzie.
I'm going to be the last one.
Veggie.
Okay, but
So,
veggie.
how about you, Veg?
Bitch.
What have you been going on these
Yes,
past 2
let's
weeks?
Well,
Yeah.
so I went to go get artwork for BP5 and pulled out everything in my drawer, and it was brought to my attention that I have plenty of paper, meaning I have made way too much paper. So
You can keep writing me notes.
Since the beginning of the semester.
that's why I don't have anything else.
You can leave me notes and play.
Oh, I will, but I'm sitting. I'm like, Okay, maybe it's time I do
made
something
paper
else.
And it was cool.
But so I still have my stone, my big stone to ink up and print. I'm just really scared to do it alone. And
I got you.
well, yeah, it's just like the last class, Professor Elko had a meeting, and I'm like, well, I don't want to spend 3 hours setting up to just hate my life, to spend 3 hours tearing down. I still have to print my acid menagerie stone block. Again, because I've just been really scared to do it.
You got this, Veggie.
But at least that one I can pick up and move around on my own.
That's true.
Uh,
They're heavy.
I'm still working on my underwear thing for Cody. That's due Tuesday.
I can't wait for that.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You
I still have a lot of sewing. But I kind of don't. But I kind of do.
So do you want to recap on that piece? I mean, it's been like two weeks, and I'm pretty sure you mentioned it
So
when we
you
were
just,
talking
like,
with Cody.
The project, and then what the project's supposed to be, and then what I'm doing as a
Yeah.
response.
Just
or-
like, what
Yeah.
are you doing with
Summarize
these
it.
underwear
Let's summarize it.
Okay.
that you've been trying to collect?
Long story short.
So
Clean,
short.
all clean.
Yeah, so the project itself is taking a tool and giving it a new function. So I picked women's underwear. And so long story short on how I got here, I mean, I've got 18 pages to prove it's a long story. I'm using women's underwear and bras from anybody who will donate me their stuff and needs to clean out their drawers, and I'm sewing them together to make a tent. It's going to be like a really small, confined, uncomfortable, crampy tent, and it's a comment on basically rape and how doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, or how old you are.
Where you're at.
Yeah, where you're at. It's non-discriminatory. So like I have underwear from everybody from my mom to people in my class to my grandmother to Kenzie and Bree. I mean, but I'm not going to sit here and point out and label which ones are which. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing.
But the
I'd
people,
help
but
if
the
I
cool
could.
thing is like when she's working on it, we know like, oh, there's mine.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
You can
you're a
identify
part of
with
her
it, yeah.
piece. It's awesome.
Yeah, I had a guy in class come up and goes, I really like the sparkly ones. Those are kind of fun. I'm sitting here, I was like, yeah, I bet. Thinking of the person who came to me, she probably liked them too. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing with that. And then avoiding printing my stones because I'm scared.
But it looks
Wow.
good so far.
Underwear?
I'm
Yeah,
seeing-
your underwear thing.
Oh, the
like,
underwear looks good.
I
considering
threw-
all your issues
That sounded
with
kind
the-
of weird, John. Yeah, that underwear.
Considering all
The
your
underwear
issues
looks
with the
good.
sewing machine and stuff.
Yeah, I went through. I'm on like my 3rd/4th sewing machine. So the first 2 sewing machines I used didn't work. A girl in my class was kind enough to lend me her, so I used that for a little bit to get started. I hand stitched most of it, and then I brought mine from home, and then I laid all that mass patchwork cloth of underwear on top of my big drawing sheet of my layout of the tent that you guys saw, the like life-size scale, whatever. And I realized that I had done a lot more than I had actually thought, but I still have like more to go just to make myself comfortable. And if this just is not executed to the state I want it to be executed at, this is definitely something I'm going to revisit.
Well, and I
do
think
this.
too, like what we were saying, like if you don't have enough, you should still do it
Oh,
and
yeah.
add in
Keep going.
bed sheets.
Yeah. But
'Cause
I don't want it.
That puts some narrative to it.
I don't
too.
want to put bed sheets on it.
Because then it replaces you
In
on a bed.
on a
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
And
Well,
it doesn't
I'm
necessarily have to be.
Yeah,
I
it
wasn't
could happen
like
wherever.
I wasn't raped on a
actually.
bed,
Sorry.
so I don't want to put bed sheets on there. If anything, I'd use clothes, other people's clothes. I even thought about taking clothing that I still have when certain incidences had occurred and putting it inside of the tent, just to be like,
This is the reality of it.
yeah, like I was
Yeah.
wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Okay, hey, so
I mean, it's about that honesty when it comes to a lot of works, you know? Like, you really got to put someone
you know
there
me.
sometimes.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Put viewers there.
Yeah.
Again, you know me. Not only am I an art kid, I just love making people uncomfortable. So if I can do it, I'll do
Tis
it.
the thing you like to do.
Well, it's more about the commentary than anything, but yeah, I do like making people uncomfortable.
Well, it's interesting on how we're ending Inside Scoop with that, and then with the secret topic.
Oh god.
Oh!
And we'll try to make this quick.
Alrighty.
But, so, here it is.
Okay.
Our favorite part, right?
Oh,
Bite me.
Always.
Why do we think subjects such as death and sex are hard topics to talk about? And also, what are hard topics for you to express?
Okay, see, I like this. This is a good one.
This is a good
I
one.
think you would have actually liked
Yes. But I'm not going to start so I can gather my thoughts on death.
So I think people have a hard time.
I mean, don't get stuck on death and sex.
Oh, I
So
already-
there's just two like really
yeah.
big ones that
Yeah.
are hard for people
Well, I
to talk
think
about.
Topics.
it's because people don't like. I mean, there's so many things to anti-aging thing, and like people don't want to age, kind of thing. And
Wait.
so it's like for about death, right?
Yeah. I have
So-
a question, though. Okay, so, like, in regards to that topic, don't forget where you were, just so I don't forget my question real fast. Sorry,
Remember-
ADHD meds.
Also 80.
Okay, yeah. So, in regards to that, what do you think makes those topics uncomfortable? I guess
it's
like
a-
that's something I want to throw at everybody.
Like, why are those things kind of?
Yeah,
think
why
it's
are
a
those
cultural
and I think
thing?
it's because I think it's a cultural thing because in
yeah.
Mexico, death isn't weird. Death is not is
Death is
everybody talks
celebrated.
about it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a part of life.
and I think it is culturally, but I think in the U.S. it is.
They're hush hush
Yeah.
talks.
Yeah.
I think it has to. It ties into vanity, though. Nobody likes to be reminded of their mortality.
yeah, and I think that also goes
Well, that's why.
with the sex topic because of
Yeah.
that kind of intimacy, showing yourself stuff.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
the
Man,
thing
we
about
getting deep.
okay, hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Death, I think in America, in society, people don't like to think about it because they're afraid to die. It's
Yeah.
they're afraid of what's on the other side, or they're not unsure of what happens after
Yeah.
death.
Everyone in America is a control freak.
Yes. Well, and then they don't want to ever grow old because going back to like the anti-aging, like there's so many products out there that's total bullshit about that. It's just like age and just but I mean just like you know what? There's a reason why this is happening, and like I think it's just because people don't
What
same
about
thing
like in
like
artwork? I found out. I mean, looking at some like many pieces, death can come up very frequently. But like in terms of talking about it, it still becomes a little bit taboo. Maybe
Yeah.
not so much for that artist. I mean, look at like
In regular
Renaissance-
conversation.
the Renaissance art.
Yeah.
A lot
Memento
of that is-
moris.
yeah, if it's not about
Little art history term right there. You're welcome, Cortez.
I mean, if it's not dealing with death, then it was either about Jesus or
yeah.
about to die,
Or
something
about
like
to
that. Or I mean, even so, with Renaissance art, it had to do it was sexually charged. You know,
Yeah.
and it was
nothing
hidden
wrong
behind the
with
curtain,
that.
but that's a whole different
There's
topic.
nothing wrong.
And I think
Nothing
I
wrong
think
with that.
the going on the sex thing, I think it's a form of it could be innocence, keeping like we don't need like.
I'm gonna tell you right now, America's not innocent at
I
all.
know, but they want to keep that
They once
persona of
were.
innocence. Kind
Yeah,
of thing. And
okay,
then they're like,
yeah.
the children don't need to hear about.
Yeah, I'm sure the
sex
children already
organs."
know.
Well,
It's
growing
a
like
generational thing.
yeah,
also.
because growing up, I never had the talk. I figured it out in high school.
Shout out again to Google.
Google.
Thank you for helping
Yes,
us with
thank
all our
you,
sex ed
Google,
questions.
Wikipedia.
It's like the second time I brought that up.
Yeah, but
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Pornhub.
I think it's a cultural thing. Oh,
I'm a male.
So,
we are 13
Because
years
the face you just made, can I take that back? Can we go back in time 5 seconds? Nope, John Ryan, it's already out there. Anyway, Kenzie, you were talking about
hold on, I'm trying to.
you're an
regroup.
intelligent conversation.
I didn't even drop that.
No,
bomb,
it's just me.
I need to put 2 cents in on Google.
Like a car crash.
No, but
Tire
like,
You know
pop.
what? You
What-
wouldn't know though. So
what makes those things like
I think it's just because
hard to
It's society.
express?
well, in art, I think it is hard because of society and like Guy's pieces are beautiful,
I love
right?
you.
And it's all about sex and the body.
I wouldn't say
and-
it's all about sex,
not,
but-
but you know
No,
what I mean.
it's
Like
not.
it's there.
It's sexual.
It's sexual, but not like
Her pieces lately
chica
are,
brown
yeah.
cow. It's like the beauty of the human body. And
Yeah.
yes, there's sexual
I love
organs,
Guy.
and they should, But I think, like with her art, it's hard for people who aren't artists to be like, that like appreciate it like we do.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's even hard for some artists, depending.
Well, yeah. I mean, I took life drawing, and I never drew any of the penises that I saw, because I didn't feel comfortable because they were in
They're
the
also
room.
very hard to draw.
Could any of y'all make a piece that was about sex?
Speaking
Or-
of which, I
Yeah.
actually have a piece in my portfolio right now in my car.
Hey.
Okay.
Well, we now know who can.
I do not.
Sort of. It's a real.
Haven't.
I don't because and well, just because how I was brought up. Like I
Same.
said, like I never had to talk, and
Mm-mm.
it was hush hush. And
That is
you
still
don't need
not
to
a topic
know.
we don't discuss in my
Yeah,
family.
I mean now that I'm older, like my mom and my dad are like I talk about it, but I don't talk about
When
it.
a man and a woman love each other.
Well, I mean, we still had never, like I had some instances that happened to me that I had to come, like, tell them about, and like,
Dad's reactions to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was bad situations, and so like we dealt with it together, and so like that was a thing. But it's coming up. I had no idea,
Yeah.
and so I think telling them what happened kind of made them realize we should have told you when you were younger what to do, what to expect,
Yeah.
and what not to do, kind of thing.
For
And-
me, I mean, I don't think I ever really had to talk either. But my
But
mom,
it's a cultural thing. It's like that's inappropriate.
It's their generation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely
Yeah.
not something
An upbringing.
their
Yeah.
parents ever
but
discussed.
But I know that
Yeah.
I'm not uncomfortable talking to my mom about it, and I'm sure she wishes it was the exact opposite. Sometimes, no, I'm not
Kimberly.
kidding. It's not exactly like
Well,
that.
I can only talk about that with my mom. I can't. My dad.
No, if I bring
because
up
he would
the
go kill
word
everybody.
Tampon. You know my dad. Both of you've met my dad. If I
Yeah.
bring
That
up the
is
word
your
tampon, he
dad.
goes, "Oh, going golfing."
But see, that's the thing where it's like I think, and that's another thing too. Like, why do men like tampons? Oh, I can't do. Like, it's a natural thing. Get used to it.
Not to them.
Not
I
to
know,
them.
but
Yeah.
like,
No.
I mean, why is it such a taboo?
Why do women have emotional support when men have to hide their emotions?
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, why do they have to hide all these things?
But either
and
way,
it's I think it's all culturally and
I think a lot of
generations
it is
of coming
culturally.
up. You're a man. You don't need to show emotions. Why
I
not?
think the fact
What's
that
wrong with that?
like our generation, or some of us in our generation, starting to really not give a crap.
Yep.
That's gonna kind of put a spin on the whole reaction to that stuff. It'd be interesting to see if it was in a positive way, or if all of our kids are gonna get pregnant at the age of five.
Tive?
5, 10.
Tive is
I
the
tried to say
number.
10 and 5 and 15 all at the same time. So
Type
Tive.
teen.
Tive. All right, I'm writing that down.
It's a new number.
Tive, new number.
What was
to
the question?
Is
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
What about you, Bree? You haven't really said a whole
Oh.
lot on.
Well, no, I kind of agree with Kenzie. Like, those topics weren't discussed in my family really either. I do think it's a cultural thing, a generation thing. And I also think it's like an art versus non-art world thing. I think if we have like a penis out in the hallway out here, we're not really going to think much of it. But if someone from the chemistry building was in here, they're like, what the hell is this?
This is pornography.
Yes, like I think it's all about like where you have been. I don't like the people you've been around, and
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Like,
there's different
energy-wise,
standards
yeah.
for art versus
Somebody would see it as anatomy, and somebody would see it as
Yeah.
something sexualized.
Yeah.
Or somebody would see it as beauty, or somebody see it
Yeah.
as
See, I think.
and we need to be able to like kind of mesh all of
yeah.
That's
Those
what. That's going to
places.
lead
But
to
it's
my
a
next
fine
question. Do y'all
line.
think that are y'all comfortable the way it is, or do y'all feel like it should be?
Comfortable with the
More.
way it
With
is and
what
what
Well,
it
how
is.
things
society?
are. Yeah, how society brings
Society.
that now, and how on
There's one.
how those things are taboo.
Sorry.
How like things such as death and sex are like a taboo kind of subject. Do y'all feel like
Oh.
it? Are y'all comfortable the way it is, or do y'all feel like
No,
that should
'cause we're
kinda,
kinda screwing
like,
our-
disperse like not disperse, but
Yeah.
I think
Change
people
that.
should be more
Change.
open-minded
We
than
need
they
to-
have been in the
We
previous
can't just sit here and ignore it and
generations.
pretend like it doesn't happen. I mean, the fact that sex is a thing, how do you think people got here?
Well, my thing
not
is,
talking
if,
to your
when
children
people
about it.
do that, they're pretending like, oh, that's
Sex,
the
we don't talk
crane.
about
The
it.
crane comes and drops a baby
Yeah,
in front of
no, you
like
can't-
stork.
if
I'm
people,
sorry.
crane stork, it's a bird.
So, again,
sorry.
we know
Very
exactly
different.
the childhood Bree had. But either way, no. It's because you can't just sit here and hide the fact, like, some guys, again, men, 30s, don't realize that what a period is. Businessmen don't know what a period
think
is.
it's an
They think it's
inconvenience. It is an
control. It's
inconvenience.
that
You
we
can turn
can
it off and
control
on.
it, turn it off and on.
I heard
I
that
read an
story.
article about it. They think that women go to the bathroom to waste time and use a period as an excuse. No,
I
that's
read
my
that too. That was interesting.
body reminding me that I have a baby factory inside of me. Thank you. But no, we can't just sit here and ignore stuff. We need to be talking about it.
And my
Chris.
thing is,
Go ahead. No.
No.
Okay. Well, I just think that society's like slowly becoming more open-minded towards things like
There's
this.
not much of a choice with us running around.
That's true. Like,
Kids,
definitely, our generation is helping things move along quicker.
I agree.
I guess.
Just, do you think we'll screw it up?
Do what?
You think we'll screw it up? Like, we'll just
No.
royally screw
Knock on wood.
everyone?
I don't know.
Like,
Who knows?
yeah.
But my thing, I think it's important for it to be more open to discussion because,
To keep people educated is important.
well, to keep
Yeah.
educated on what goes on because, like me, I had no idea until
Yeah.
high school, and then stuff happened.
Yeah.
And it was traumatizing for me. But like
See-
at the same time, like if I would have known, maybe
Yeah.
it could have been different. But then I mean,
Yeah.
it happened. But I mean, maybe
That's,
it could have been
yeah.
different.
If I ever had kids,
Sex education in the States is awful.
yeah.
Terrible.
But,
In
like, this
Texas,
goes here, that's all I need to
Private
know.
schools.
no,
y'all.
Texas, no,
Private
just
schools.
Texas and public school for Texas. It's abstinence. But either way, I think if I ever have kids, you,
Bless those children.
y'all can just go walk yourselves off to hell.
I'll babysit your kids.
Yeah, we'll be like,
But
we'll talk to
I don't want them to, little Timmy Joe running around with his
Your kid's name.
teal hair or whatever.
Joe and Bobby Land.
Okay, I don't know. I don't want little Timmy running around with his teal hair and going, "Mommy, how do kids have kids?" or "How are kids a thing?" and me not telling him.
Why
and
do
then,
I have a wee wee?
Yeah, and him thinking that if you rub noses with a girl, you get her pregnant, or if you finish in a hot tub and you're not even, penetrating her, you're gonna get her pregnant. I mean, no, I don't want that. I want people. You might as well be like educated about stuff, if not for the sake of.
Well, it's important because kids,
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they
you
need to-
think, oh, this is.
Am I sitting
you trust
here?
that other
Yeah.
person
Am I
who
sitting here?
has bad intent.
How did we get all the way here from the? But
This
either way.
is a
Anyways.
big topic.
I know.
Either
Me and
way.
Benji are like.
It's a whole show.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, we can definitely make that a topic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But going
Taboo
back
stuff.
to the taboo things with art and people responding to that,
I think it's just uneducated people.
well, it's not like a.
What?
Go.
No, you go.
No.
Oh my gosh. Somebody go.
Anyway, so
No, I thought you had something to
I
say.
did. Do you think? What about that? That maybe like art kids have that inhibitor off.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think so.
be like people when they drink.
I would
That
say
filter
so.
is gone.
Well, because we're in different kind of environments.
Worlds.
And
We're
whatnot.
supposed to
We're
be
a little
kind of
bit
weird
numb.
and crazy.
Desensitized to all of
for the
that.
lack of another word, but I feel like we're a little bit numb to it.
Eccentric.
Yeah.
Desensitized.
Desensitized
Desensitized.
because we have to think about in different manners of things with a large spectrum of different subject matter,
Yeah.
and then when you go into stuff like figure drawing and stuff like that, you kind of get a little bit desensitized on the human body being sexualized in certain ways. You start seeing it as a figure, and then
Boxes.
when it comes to the conceptual kind of content,
Using it as a tool and giving it concept kind of. This.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it becomes like, it's like, that's sexually charged and
Yeah.
this and that's what it's about. It's not like, oh, sex.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Ooh.
And then, and along things with death, it's for us, it's hard for me to explain.
Yeah.
It's hard because I think it does depend on the cultural
Yeah. I think so.
surroundings. Like the example I used
What you
earlier.
believe and
But
stuff.
then
Yeah.
it's also about what you believe and how you live your life.
I think it's
Because some people always in fear of death, and
Yeah.
that's how they live their
And
life.
I
And some
think
people are
that-
like, okay, I'm gonna die someday. Live life to the fullest.
Yeah, like that whole YOLO thing makes me mad. Okay,
YOLO.
so you only live once? Yeah, you do, but that doesn't mean you
Oh,
have to be a
YOLO.
stupid head and risk your life every other day. You
Yeah,
have to
that's a
understand
little
that,
too far. Then you're gonna die sooner.
yeah,
than
it's like, so you're going to sit here and you're going to say YOLO, but you're going to risk your life and then you're going to be afraid of death.
I'm gonna eat a Twinkie. Say YOLO. That's how far I go.
All right, but either way, no, so I think it is definitely a cultural thing. I think it's also part of, at least for what I can understand of our culture in America, part of it is that not willing to accept limitations at all, no matter what that limitation is. So,
Yeah.
and I think because of that, they don't want to talk about it. They don't like to be confronted with that. Same thing with sex. They don't want to be confronted with something that is obviously out there, but
Possible insecurities or something.
definitely.
And I just thought of something. You can use those fears to control somebody too. Like
It's called psychological trauma.
exactly. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you know, if
Good question.
I know, but it's just like, you know, you use that fear and you don't talk about it because that gives that person a certain power.
Fear of the name only gives fear to itself. Or whatever. You know, Hermione said the fear of the name only creates fear of the cell of the thing or whatever. Yeah. So,
Hermione coming in clutch. Well, that's gonna. I
That
feel
was
like that
good.
should give it its own show sometime. We'll have to
Yes, it should.
revisit that.
Make a
But
name.
moving
I'll
on
write
to
it down.
things that have. There's some things that have or that are coming up
Yes.
that we're going to endeavor. As endeavor.
Yes.
Is that,
No,
endeavor.
that's not right.
We're just gonna go in. We're gonna talk about these
Anyway,
things.
First Friday's
writing
gonna
that on
be
the list of
coming
words
up.
you've made up.
Yes. And
real
yeah,
word.
first
I
Friday.
know, but you're using it wrong. Anyways, all right, carry on.
First Friday,
So
April
First Friday,
7th.
yeah, First Friday Art Trail, April 7th, and which is gonna have our sculpture student warehouse show. Excited for that. Definitely go look at it. That First Friday is also going to have our grad student Nicole Lemaire, her thesis show, and that will be at
Ceramics grad.
5 and J. What?
Ivan J.
Ivan J.
That's right.
5 and J. And then we also have something that's going on. I don't really know much about it, but Bree had a little printout of it, and it's this
remember going to
integrative
that.
medicine symposium art contest.
All I'm hearing is art therapy, and I'm there.
Yes.
Which
let
probably
me
isn't
read
what
the
that is.
flyer. Call for entries.
Good.
Okay, so
So original.
I'm going to read it here. In connection with the Integrative Medicine Symposium, TTU HSC will host an art exhibit on April 7th, and the exhibit will provide artists with a passion for health and wellness an opportunity to showcase their work during the symposium and workshops. So the theme is art and wellness. It should be original, completed within the last 2 years, and suitable for all ages. Entries can include any of the following media: paintings, painting works on paper, fiber works, photography, sculpture, and ceramics. The exhibition committee will make awards to recognize outstanding submissions from both TTU HSC and TTU artists, and the submission deadline is Tuesday, April 4th. So if you're interested in health and body things, submit your artwork to
So you could
this thing.
I
submit
can't.
your little peppers. That's health.
Oh my god.
Because it's a vegetable?
That's a long stretch. and then
But there's that,
Kinsey,
so.
you were talking about like some food truck stuff.
No, that's veggies
yeah.
can cover this.
Is that veggie
We
has
wrote
that?
this down,
Something
Tom, right? Where
about
was you
Yeah,
at?
I don't know where you
See?
were.
So the second
okay.
Saturday Food Truck Festival is going to happen April 8th at 11 a.m. That's at the South Plains Fairgrounds. And I actually ate from one of the food trucks that's going to be there. And I was such a happy camper. They have such great breakfast burritos and burritos. And yeah, I was just impressed. It was good. It was good stuff. So I'm excited. I'm going to go to that. But yeah.
I
We'll
wanna
be
go
there.
to that.
Come
Yeah.
say hi to us.
Food, yes, me.
Yeah,
So-
come say hi.
Something that's also
Hi.
happening now is the High Plains Music Festival
Yes.
that's going on over at the Lucas. Is it the Lucas?
Yes.
The Lucas Center.
It's right in the middle, that kind of courtyard area.
Yeah, the little courtyard there. It's right across from 5 and J. So if you're able, I believe tonight's the last night. Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So
They have
this-
live music there.
This is Saturday. We're recording this.
Yeah, so people
tonight
listening to
is
this
won't know.
You have missed it on Monday if you did not go.
Sorry,
This is not live.
this is not.
And also something to talk about is the open mic nights that Studio 19 is now doing. They had their first one on the 18th, and it is first and third Saturdays.
So if you have poetry or a song you want to try
Yeah,
out.
poetry. They had a
Going out.
stand-up
Oh
comic.
yeah, comedy.
Check out the artwork that's there while you're.
Check out the artwork.
While you're there.
I'm on the wall. Yay.
You're on the wall.
No,
really?
John, yeah,
What do you
me,
have?
John Ryan. I have some artwork out there at Studio 19.
Nice.
But I just want to add to the First Friday Art Trail that Tab will still be busing people out there from Texas Tech campus to the First Friday Art Trail. It will be starting at probably 6 or 5:30, and their picking up and drop off will be at the sub north entrance, and there will be a sign with balloons, so you just go there. It's kind of like if you ride the buses, they'll be picking up where the Red Raider bus picks people up.
Right on.
Yay, Tab.
Something that we also talked about was we appreciate everyone on the Facebook and getting the likes and the views, but we'd also invite people to put some suggestions on the page for like
Yes.
possible topics. You know, not that we ever run out.
Yeah, yeah, I
Or
know.
questions, you know, and we
But I thought it
will
was a
definitely
good
investigate it. Do I?
I said I thought it was a good idea to
Yeah,
ask
we want
people.
y'all to be
Yeah.
involved, and if y'all have good ideas or you have people that you want us to see if we can get on the show, just
We are
send us
open to
what-
those ideas, and we will definitely
Yeah.
look into all those and look up and possibly have on the show, and we'll give you a shout out.
Gosh.
And then I'd like to say thank you and to Google Play Music and iTunes and SoundCloud and to all of our listeners. And we'll have to catch you all next week. Artication out.
Inside my